It's too funny, girl.
Perched on a front porch, 7-year-old Dior gets an idea.
She loved this house. She loved playing outside. Where you get these flowers?
One flower for herself and one for mom.
Thank you, my baby.
But what LaTanya McGee wanted to give her kids wasn't quite so simple.
Just having my own home to pass down to my kids. You know, something that I can have that's mine and I can pass it on to my children. That's really what I wanted.
Back in the spring, LaTanya looked for a place to live. She found this North St. Louis home online, about $760 a month, a rent to own, or so she thought.
Once he said we can get it, I instantly sent him the $2,500 down. And after that, I didn't hear from him anymore.
They moved in and reality hit. There'd been a fire in the basement, raw sewage seeped from the floor. She'd paid for a new water heater already, but there was a gas leak somewhere. Repairs now climbed into the tens of thousands of dollars, money she didn't have.
So after I heard that, I gave up because I couldn't afford it.
Her chance at the American dream crumbling in just a matter of months.
So I just paid all that money and then I had to move. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My kids, like, I just want a nice place for my kids. That's it. That's all.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So wanted to show you guys this video and react to it because I spoke with a client 4 days ago that could not move forward with home purchase at this time because of the credit situation. And I can tell that they're really desperate. They're ready to get out of the current situation that they're in. And he's called me a couple of times and he asked me about a situation like this, contract for deed. So I thought it'd be a good video to bring to you guys. Number one, to warn those of you out there that if it sounds too good to be true, it really is. Number two, there are options for you to get into a home, but you have to go through the process. So that's why I wanted to do this video, to potentially prevent some of you guys from being heartbroken like this young lady was. A great resource for you all is the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's a government entity and it has a treasure trove of education as it pertains to different types of financing, financial literacy. I think it's a great place for you guys to go to when you're educating yourself on what's going on and you don't want to talk to somebody like me. Let's read here. Contract for deed are loans. First and foremost, they're loans. You have to understand that home ownership comes with a cost, and the less traditional the process is, the more the costs are, if that makes sense. And so people like the young lady that we just watched aren't ready to go through the process. So you become susceptible, vulnerable is a better word, to these types of schemes. But it's a loan where the seller keeps legal title of the home until the borrower makes all the payments. A lot of people don't realize when you're buying a home and you have a home loan on it, you are the owner of the home. A lot of people don't believe that, but it's true. The lending institution has a lien against that property. Well, when you deal with these contract for deed type situations, you don't even own the property. Again, they're preying on, I won't say preying, they're taking advantage of a shortcoming somewhere in either your income or your credit or just in your naivety and not understanding how this process works, because you might think it's too hard and you can't qualify. This is why I tell people all the time that you need to reach out to a lender, regardless of where you are in the process or where you think you might be, to get a real good diagnosis, for lack of a better term, of where you really are and if you can actually afford a home. Because if you don't, you gravitate towards things like this. I call it the lottery effect. But you actually don't have any leverage. So this young lady, $2,500, that's another thing. Man, that's a small amount to secure a house. So your spidey senses have to go out and start saying, hey, where am I potentially missing something here? And hopefully you have some folks that you can run stuff by. But I find in these instances, for whatever reason, people just go forward because they think they're getting a great deal. It says some contract for deeds can provide a path to home ownership. So I guess there are some people that are successful, like the person that they were doing an expose on said, hey, the only people that don't like this are the people that cannot or do not or are not successful in it. So I guess it helps some people, but most carry risk. And the reason most of these deals carry risk is because of the profile, the type of person that is going out and looking for these things. No disrespect.
Plans.
A similar situation, too, for Ashley Barton. This home also uninhabitable.
Were you living there under unsafe conditions?
I was very angry. I was very hurt.
But in the end, these houses all have major defects.
A new housing practice, attorney Rob Swearingen says, taking advantage of the most vulnerable.
Would you go so far to call it predatory?
It's absolutely predatory. It's how people stay poor. It's how you keep people poor.
Swearingen now suing the owners of LaTanya's property and Star Homes, calling their practices, quote, unlawful, deceptive, misleading, and unfair. A prime example, he says, of what's being called the slow flip business model.
Today is the day for the slow flip challenge.
Meet Scott Jelenic, author of The Art of the Slow Flip. He's lived on waterfront in Virginia Beach, but he's been telling people they can get rich by buying properties in St. Louis, hosting packed seminars and tours here.
All right, this is the next one in St. Louis.
They want you to fail so that they can flip it.
In the slow flip model, Swearingen says the property owner promises people they'll get the deed, but only after completing a long-term loan. Swearingen says they inflate the purchase prices, collect deposits and monthly payments, and charge high interest rates on homes, he says, likely that aren't safe to live in.
They will do no repairs. They will not get an occupancy permit. They will not get the house to be safe and sanitary. That's not their problem.
How is this legal?
Well, we don't think it is legal. They're violating at least 2 or 3 aspects of the St. Louis ordinances.
In lawsuits, he argues, it also violates federal and state law. Still, he says, the practice is catching on in the metro. Swearingen says a number of companies, all LLCs, are now offering contracts for deed in our area. Jelenic has owned some properties in the Metro East, but doesn't personally own them on the Missouri side. Still, some of the other LLCs practicing slow flips, like Star Homes, tie back to Virginia Beach. We easily found properties on Facebook Marketplace with claims of seller financing, no banks, no credit checks.
I'll leave it there, but as you can see, there's a lot of clues for you guys out there to learn from, to hopefully not succumb to a scheme like this. But remember, it takes two. And I doubt that attorney is going to be successful because these folks have done their due diligence. And although it's grimy and it's raunchy, as my brother would say, they're not going to come out on top. Okay, because these folks are signing contracts saying that they understand what's going on. So, couple of takeaways. Man, you can't buy a house on Facebook Marketplace. All of the things, 0 down, low down, and you're going to get this house, so on and so forth. Those are all flags, ladies and gentlemen, of things that you should stay away from. In fact, you can get these same houses. That's what a lot of people don't realize. There's rehab loans. FHA has a 203K full renovation as long as there is a foundation. I've seen those homes get renovated and be beautiful homes. A lot of you guys, if you're in these areas, you notice they're dealing in areas where folks are struggling. It's tight. You can kind of see the neighborhood. It's a lot of blight there, but those are opportunities to turn these things around, to get these homes for very cheap, but you got to put the money into them to get them up to speed. So the FHA 203K, conventional has home style renovation loan to come to mind. So there's monies there available that can help you qualify. Where the issue is with most of these people, I could probably put my last name on it, is because of the credit, or I won't even say income. A lot of these folks are making income because these loans that these folks are giving them to get into these houses, they're probably averaging 16, 17% on a mortgage loan. And they know these folks cannot satisfy the contract, the lease. So you're getting a nice return on money. You don't have to do anything to the house. And in the event that you do those things, they're hoping that you default on the loan. So you do all the work and they can take the house back. This is why I'm doing these videos, to let you know that there's no loopholes. There's no quick way around. You got to get your credit together. You got to do things the traditional way so that you have the protections that you need. If you've watched this video and you said, you know what, Robert, makes sense. What should I do to find out where I stand? Click the link in the description of the video. Schedule a consultation, free. 15 minutes is free. I want to hear what it is that you're trying to achieve as it pertains to home ownership. And if there's a fit, then I can guide you on what the next step would be. If you're not ready to do that, continue watching these videos that I've curated for you to help you continue your education so that situations like this don't find your front door. Guys, let's be good to one another. Let grace abound. And most importantly, you guys stay blessed. Indeed.